Just gotta post this in the Discord. And we'll be good to go. Right. Nope, wrong button. Stream. Go to that. There you go. Yes. Right. Hey up guys, TSI Dominant here again, and today we will be continuing CoD Noob Reviews. For those of you who aren't aware, this is the show that I do since I started playing the Call of Duty games over on Glitch Hunter. I'm not exactly a Call of Duty veteran, that's why I've decided to do this. And how this works is we do various things in the Call of Duty games, like play the maps, multiplayer, might even do the reviews of the games, I don't know. But basically it's just messing about and giving my opinion on how the games are. Let me just stop it. Right. So last time we started off with Call of Duty 2. We're going to continue that. Maybe finish this game today. I don't know. There's still a lot of maps to do. So we got to Stalingrad last time. So we'll be going to Tunisia. Tujan? I don't know. Give me a second. I'm just sorting out what this game is actually marked as on my stream. So, I think we are good to go. And just close everything down. Open Twitch back up. Right, I think we should be good. I'll probably switch to, say, COD 2 at some point. Yes. Still coming through on the audio. Again, if at any point I start to sound like our audio skipping in and out, please let me know and I will rectify that issue. So, how many maps do we have to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right. Oh, there's another Russia map. I'm quite interested. But let me just pull out the... I don't want to say data, but I've got some notes for the first episode. Right. So, what maps are my... So we have favourite maps. We have Leningrad, Moscow and Stalingrad. So basically Russia is putting in a very good showing for the maps. Maps for sniping, they were Brecourt, the second one down on that list, and Stalingrad. Machine gun and shotgun maps, Burgundy, yep, Cayenne, and El Alamein. Okay. Balanced, I would say Leningrad, Moscow, and Beltolt. Oh, Beltolt was the first map, yeah. 1v1, I think I gave that to Moscow and Leningrad. Yes, especially Moscow, I believe. But maps I didn't like were Carentan. Wasn't a fan of that one. Didn't like El Alamein, and I wasn't particularly fond of Burgundy, but I did see the appeal of it. So maybe we'll see if we get a change. But we'll be going to Tujan in Tunisia. Game type standard deathmatch, screw it. Right, and we'll start. Oh wait, hang on, no, hang on, I've done the wrong thing. Is it system link I need to create? Yes. Start. Right, Tujan. Right. British. Doesn't. Oh. Damn, sorry about that. Right. Sten. Okay, so Tujan. Okay, right off the bat, noticing pretty big. Oh shit, hang on. I'm going to end this real quick. I will jump back into this. I just need to sort one quick wee thing. Just one. Jesus. Modifiers. Time limit. Yeah, right. Start. Apologies about that. Right. So. And we're back. Okay. Right, don't know where I started before. Don't know where I'm starting now. Pretty basic. Bit wide for my liking. Right off the bat, I can tell you I would not be playing this for a standard 1v1. Because I would spend most of the time just looking for the enemy. Ah, back here. Right. Yeah. Might be compact, but not compact enough for my liking. This ain't a shipment from CoD 4 or Rust from Modern Warfare 2. This is more kind of backlot territory for me on CoD 4. Although I could see... Oh, you're no getting some good camping spots behind here. Yeah, it seems like any good camping spot, you could potentially camp here, but the problem is, if they come around that corner and see you, you're dead. Like, just dead. You could potentially camp out here. Maybe even behind these doors, but you need to hope that they don't come in here. Because that is a bottleneck if I've ever saw one. Yeah, it seems like wherever you could choose to hide here, you would get wiped out. Not really much of a... Oh, okay, this is a 2-tier map. You can take things up to the roofs. Oh, you can get a wee bit of sniping going on here. Look down there, dead. Not so much the parkour, I'd say, but... Oh no, the parkour would work. Surprising, actually. Yeah, you could actually... If you could keep your... If you learn the spawns of this map, which I have a funny feeling they're not the hardest. You get the spawns down pat. I think it's safe to say you would be laughing here. Because the fucking roof seems to be the centre of the map. But most of all, I could see this being just a machine gun and a little bit of chaotic machine gun and shotgun map. If you get on the roofs and a sniper rifle, you'd be able to do some decent damage. What about that building? Can you get in there? If you can get in that building, that may actually change things. Oh, is there actually any way to get up there? But I thought I had a fly, wasn't? You can. Okay. Well, again, you can pick off enemies quite badly for here, but one good grenade throw in here and you're dead. Also, I'm noticing there's a couple of these mounted machine guns. That would be something to take into account too, because what kind of angle are you talking about here? We'll point it there. That's not what you want to see. I'm guessing there was another one at the other end of the street. Looks like both sides have, if I'm right, that both sides have a machine gun. Yep. See the one at that side? Dig into that building. Can't really do that there. But oh, you can't even put it into that building there, so this one basically just covers the street. Can't even look behind the tank. Interesting. But I would say this one, I'd be more looking into taking out the street ones. I wouldn't really be trying to get up on the roofs, because just getting up on the roofs would be a fucking major time sink for me. Somebody can get on top of the vehicles? You can, but you're exposed. What about the alleyways? I haven't checked them yet. Tight, confined. Yeah. Might be a close quarters map, but not... This is definitely a team kind of chaotic Not too sure how I feel about this one. But, yeah, not a bad showing for the first of the episode. But I would definitely not be playing that one. A bit too open. I like mine to be a bit more compact. Not 1v1 size, but I like a smaller map. It's definitely one of the smaller team maps that I saw. I remember one of these ones. Brecourt, massive. Right, Villers-Bocage in France. Staying in France this time. No, we're going back to France because I know we've done a couple. Right, British. The Sten. Right. Let's go inside the house. Okay. I can see these being a bit of an advantage to people because say you're getting shot when you're running through a building or whatever. You could just hit the deck here and the bullets would fly over you, but you'd also need to turn around and be quick to get them because they most likely will be pursuing you. Okay, okay, that's the boundary, right. I was thinking that street was going to continue. A lot of houses you can use here. Okay, a lot of space with the house. Oh, is that another house there? Yep. Okay. Interesting. That's a kill box if I've ever seen one. One good grenade throw in here, you're dead. Pretty much same here, but albeit with less risk. Because if you're quick enough, you can get out the window. Well, really no. It's like every house in the centre of this street you can get into. This would end. I think this one I would see this ending up like a game of hide and seek. That would actually be a pretty good use for this map, is hide and seek. Maybe a one. I don't want to say a 1v1, but a one-on-one game of hide and seek. I know it's stupid to be suggesting this kind of game mode in an older CoD, but I would be playing that. Just the question is, whoever gets the first kill would be the one who wins, because you'd obviously go back and forth. Because if you take off the time limit like I am, and just operate with the score limit, I've got it set to 100. Say the first person that gets the first kill, you'd win first. So it's not really something I could recommend, but it's an idea. Maybe it needs a wee bit of work, but I don't know if you can even take off the score limit. Just play until you get bored. Not too sure how I feel about these wee bits here. Again, I would just see this mostly being machine guns. Actually, only machine guns. I don't even see shotguns being useful here. Except maybe in extremely close quarters like that building there. Basically any of these houses. I was going to say, is this the boundary? Nope, you can go past this. Okay. Yeah, the only open bits are on the street, and I'm not too sure if you'd want to be caught there. Oh, hello. Nice wee back entrance into a house. I like it. But yeah, this is another one that I'd say second verse, same as the first. Machine guns, maybe the odd shotgun. If you're lucky with a grenade throw, you could maybe dislodge an opponent or two, but I do not see a lot of people playing this. I don't imagine this one was quite popular. I could be wrong. Maybe for like the bigger team-based games, but then again, I never played CoD 2 multiplayer, so I don't know what the game modes that were popular in this. I don't even know what game modes there were. I can imagine there was a standard deathmatch and team deathmatch, but other than that, no idea. But yeah, this one I'm not really vibing with. There is nothing in this map that's sticking out to me. Not even giving me a good impression. Am I back in this building? Yeah. Right. Unfortunately, that wasn't the one for me, but... yeah, we'll head to the next one. That probably seemed a bit of a lackluster review of that one, but that's just... I wasn't really liking that one. Vossenack in Germany. Okay, we're going to Germany. Is this the first map from Germany in CoD 2? Oh, okay. Grease gun. I never saw this sign during my playthrough in Glitch Hunter. Okay. Okay, I can say this much. This is the kind of... Wait, I don't know if any of you guys know what I'm talking about here. But, well, actually, a lot of you might, but... this gives me extreme vibes of red versus blue. Bases at either end of a canyon, kind of. Yeah, I could see this one being pretty good. Can we use the wee bunkers? Oh, we can. Okay. So you've got a bit of a two-story one. Not as much as I would like, but... oh, please tell me you can. Can you? No, you can't. Oh, that'd be amazing if you could. If you could get up there, you could control the fucking battlefield with a sniper. But... no, it seems like this is just a standard canyon. With, I can imagine a lot of chaos being fought for this bunker. This would be closer to a 1v1 map. Maybe a small, and I'm talking small, fucking team-based game. I do not see this being something that you'd want like the full man team with. Maybe 3 aside. But yeah. If you get... oh, hang on. If you were stupid enough to be standing out here, you kind of deserve to get your head blown off. But I could even see every kind of weapon being used here. Shotguns and machine guns in there. Machine guns out in the field. Do you see if you've got one person back at the barn, one person over there? Sniping. If you stand up here, you're getting blown to bits. I could see a little bit of camping if somebody's coming from behind you here. If they're coming down these stairs, just as soon as they go in front of you, dead. Yeah, you've got basically a full 90 degrees covered. No, fucking 180 degree covered there. You could be quite sly and sneak up past these walls. You just need to hope that your aim's good enough to dead. If not, they're taking you out as soon as that thing falls. Any way you can camp in here? No, wall's way too fucking small. And besides one good grenade throw. That's all they need. What about under the bridge? Could you get under the bridge? You can, okay. Okay, you just need to hope that nobody would come down here looking for you, because running through, dead. Why does it look like there's something in there? Oh, it's bullet holes. It looks like there was a fucking animal or something in there. I thought it was an Easter egg. Just fucking looking at the baskets or something. I wonder. This is just a test of something. Nah. I was hoping you could get on top of the hay, but it was... I could see you maybe doing some damage from behind the truck, especially with a sniper. Ooh. Ooh, that looks nasty. Shooting in that direction. Maybe even taking out somebody on top of that. Bang! Dead. Yeah. Basically, if you could control the hill, if your team could dominate the hill in the centre of the map, you've got control of the map. Yeah, I can actually respect this one. Not to mention you've got a wee flanking bit here, so if you could get to that door, you could hopefully dislodge them for the bunker, but you would have your work cut out for you to not only dislodge them, but to hold it. Because there's multiple entrances to that bunker. This is a nicely designed map. I like this one. But probably not as much as the Russia ones, but it's definitely up there. What's it called? Vosina. Okay, let's make a note of that one. Bosinac. Okay. Going 2 for 1. Right, there we go. Sorry about that. Yes, right. Now we're going down to Wallendar. But, oh, another one in Germany. Okay. Yeah, there's only 2 Germany maps in this. Okay. That's surprising. Oh, this is screaming another town one. I don't know how I feel about this. Right, grease gun again. Right. Oh, joy. Right. You know the drill with these street maps, guys. It's always way too big. And this is screaming massive. Not entirely sure how. Holy shit. Right. Oh my days, yeah, this is something for this is a big team map. Yeah, you're talking full man teams for this. This is not something you'd be doing with a small crew. This would be full lobby. You go in the church? No, you can't even go in the church. Right. Best you could maybe hope for is that the fighting would be taken into the builds, because then you can just pick them off with machine gun or shotgun fire. Either that, or you're stuck in maybe covering one person for machine gun fire with your own. You could be quite flying camp in the corners of these buildings because they're wide enough to be covered. Maybe not so much for this side, but you just need to hope that they're not coming from here, because they turn around, look at you there, bang, dead, and then they just turn around there, bang, dead. See, I can say it all. I can say that you camp that all you want, but that's assuming that people wouldn't know where to look for campers. I could picture a wee bit of camping here, but again, one good grenade throw, and you're dead. Yeah, basically, if you're caught out in the there's a lot of cover in the streets. I'll give them that. Question is, can something penetrate that wood and that? If bullets can't go through wood and that, then you might be fine. I can't remember if this was the CoD that introduced that mechanic where it goes through wood. But yeah, the main fault I have for this map is its size. This is way too big. Quite smart to put a fucking tank parked as the invisible wall. Don't see many people using that bit as a camping spot. What about in here? Nope. This is where I spawned, isn't it? Yep, right. What about up here? I haven't looked up here yet. Okay, I'm seeing that you could use the tanks for cover, which is something, I suppose. There's a sitting duck in here. It's basically, if any of the enemies get, more than 1 or 2 of those enemies get to those windows, you are getting hosed. What does this window give you coverage of? Can you... Yeah, you've literally only got coverage of that door. You come up for that, you're dead. You could maybe camp the above spot, but not entirely sure how that would go. Again, everything I'm saying in these maps, it's both my opinion. I'm going to say this right now. None of what I'm saying is objective fact. this is mainly a series where I show off my opinions in these maps and that. And I have no idea how they operate in practice. I just want to make that clear. I do not know how these maps would work in a full multiplayer game. For all I know, there are some people that can use the spots that I wouldn't use very effectively. Oh, hello. Oh, I could see some cheeky wee bastard playing this, but the thing is, like I've said before, one good freaking grenade throw. The worst thing is, once you come in here, you're not getting out. I am stuck. Yeah, grenade it would have to be. Well, shit. Just a second, I'm making a clip of that. Right, save that. Ugh. If you could go into the church, I could maybe see this being a bit better of a map to be operating on, but as of right now, no. I could see a pretty good gunfight happening in the graveyard, I'm not gonna lie. Using the Sims for cover. Yeah, I could see that working. Yeah, just way too big. That's like I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's the main problem with this map that I'm having, is it's way too big. I like my CoD maps to be a bit more small, thank you. So the first Germany map was okay. Boss and that was good. But the second one, yeah, not so much. Download landscape. So you can download that, so... But you can't download a fucking YouTube VOD. Okay. Right, next up. Oh, we're going back to Russia with Kalak. Or is that Kalach? I don't know, I can't speak Russian. Right. Let me go with the PPSH. Right. So. How are we looking in this map? Okay. Right, off the bat. Oh, no, hang on. I'm actually going to hold what I was saying. Because I was going to say that this screams like a massive map. This is actually a bit more enclosed. I like this. I'm liking this one so far. Right off the bat, two-storied map. I like it. It's like, oh, three-story map. Okay, game, you're spoiling me a wee bit here. Yeah, it seems to be a three-storied map. You basically a top, middle, bottom. 3 lanes, it looks like. Oh, with a nice fucking mounted machine gun on this side. Do you have one on the other? If you have one on the other, this is a standard, like, small team game. I'm not seeing a mounted machine gun on this side. Bit skewed towards whoever spawns there. Yeah, definitely skewed to whoever spawns there to get that gun. But the thing is, the guy in the gun would have to watch his back, because there's like plenty of places that the enemy could come up behind him. Only disadvantage, well, actually, not really a disadvantage, this is actually something I would say is a positive. Not as many camping spots from what I'm seeing. I mean, yeah, there's obviously the ones round about corners and that. If you stick maybe here, you could take out anyone approaching from there. Dead, dead. I'm not seeing really anywhere good. Because whoever comes up the stairs is going to see you. Yeah, you can maybe be a sly fucking get anyone going up the stairs. Dead. Anyway, you can camp this ladder. Yeah, you could go there, but on the reverse, people down there could chuck a grenade in that corner. That's you fucked. Nothing really here. See, the danger also is if you don't have someone there and they're coming up the ladder, you can also just have a couple of boys here just fucking aiming at them. Dead. Problem is, if you've got somebody over in that corner there, you could change the fucking game by sniping on them and blow their heads off across the map. This is definitely one that I would say is balanced. What's this one? Kalak. Okay. Episode 2 balance. Kalak. Very good, very nice. Yeah, other than that, standard machine gun, shotgun. If you're out on the top floor and you feel kind of ballsy enough, I could suggest even a sniper. Because if you get a clear line of sight, there, especially here, bang, dead, bang, dead, bang, dead, 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 lucky, dead. Then if you need to, you swap, go there, dead. You've even got the gun covered from here, dead. Oh, nice wee bit of tightrope walking here. Shit. I was hoping that would work, but apparently not. Yeah. You just need to hope that if you're trying to push down the lanes, you don't get cut off by that gun. Because I want to see what kind of range you've got with that thing. Like how much can you cover with it? I might be giving this gun a bit too much credit. Nope, it's got all this covered. You're up there, you're simply dead. Whereas the lower, you've only really got it there. If you can get past there, okay, that's just changed my analysis. I can cover there, dead. Cover that bit, dead. If you're anywhere here, you're shredded. You're dead. Just full fucking dead with a capital D. Oh, there's another wee ladder here. Where's this got? Again, I can see it being alright wee location to sit in, but one good grenade throw and you're exposed as anything. Not where I would be spending a lot of time. Oh. Okay. Not what I was expecting, but that works. Nice wee escape route to the lower floor if you need to catch your breath. Same this way. So yeah, if you're under fire and you need to just dive down the fireplace to drop down a layer, just obviously be careful, because you never know who's going to be waiting for you. Oh, that's a bit nasty. If someone's coming down the stairs and decides to run around, dead. But if it works in opposite, you can walk in there, see it, dead. Also, if they're not too sure, refrag grenade there, dead. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Good showing, actually. Very good showing. Russia is having a very good track record with the maps in this. I'm not gonna lie. Kalak is doing surprisingly well. I would play in that. Is it in the favourites? I like it, but I don't know if I'd go that far. Beaumont Hague. Oh, God. I'm noticing I'm tending to not like a bunch of the France maps. They're just always too open. Sorry, let me just deal with something in it. Right. Wait a minute. Is this silo level? Is this the farm level from the campaign? I think it is. It is. If you can get on top of that silo, I can already see where an advantage is. Okay, right. Start off this wee bit. You could camp, but you need to hope that nobody running past would just chuck a grenade in there, because then dead. You could do a quick funnel there, dead, but again, goes in reverse, dead. You sit here, you get both entrances covered, dead there, dead coming that way. Potentially even dead coming through the window, but ballsy to be even suggesting that. Could you flank these houses? You could. Oh, you've got a oh, that's a bit bigger than I was expecting. Right, I'll say this much. If you are caught out here, especially if you can get to that window, if you are caught out here, you are dead. Because there is nowhere to hide behind. Unless you could hide behind a cow. I think these are solid. I say a cow, that's a horse. But yeah, if you hide behind the cow and return fire, only problem is, I need to see if you can get up to that window. Yeah, you get caught in that field, that's a death zone, man. So, that's my key thing. Can you... Well, you can almost certainly make it up to that window. Almost certain you can. There's the stairs there. See what I mean? Dead. Just plain old simple, dead. Not to mention they've got a mounted machine gun covering the street. If you get that one, dead. Anyone trying to come there, dead. Got that entire street covered, dead. Even cover a bit of that house, dead. 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 Okay, you have this house, you've got two directions covered. Only problem you'd have to be is watching folk directly to your left. But I want to try this house now. Can we get in there? Well, we can get in the house, but can we get up to the top floor, is what I want to know. Yes, we can. Right, so you've got... I don't know if you can get into that field, so I'm not going to weigh in on that yet. But... okay, you can't get to that window I saw. Oh, because it's not a fucking window, right? I thought it was. Okay, nice way down to... Right, can we get into this field? If we can, this might actually open up the ball game. But I don't think you can. So, given that that field's off limits, that's fair. Put this one. Yeah, this seems to be... I could actually see this being a sniping map. I'm not sure how I feel about this one being a sniping map. I'm not sure how I feel about this map in general. Because I won't be able to make my full opinion known until I get to the top of that, if I can. But yeah, it seems to be mostly... like, kind of territory based. When if you... if your team has a house, you do whatever you have to lock that house down. That seems to be the case for most, if not all, these buildings. Now for the important one. Can you get to the top of the silo? Yes, you can. How are we looking here? Okay. Right. Anyone up here, especially with a sniper rifle, is going to cause your team a world of hurt. Especially if there's more than one. And especially if they know the spawns. Because, I mean, look at it. As soon as I saw what map this was, I was like, if you can A, get on top of this thing, and B, hold it, you have control of this map. They wonder, like, the score limit can be 100. Like, you would rack them up, no problem if you're a competent player. A sniping guy is going to have a good time in this map. If not from this silo, then definitely from the multiple windows I'm seeing that are open. Because there's like 3, 4 to a house. And if you get to the top of it, which would be risky because if you've got people aiming from this window, there's only one ladder to this thing. Got people covering you from there. You can have people covering you from there. And as soon as you get up, there's a chance you get sniped by this lot, or this lot, or this lot. So yeah, if you get up here, you make damn sure you take full advantage. You lock the fuck in. Wonder if you could survive a fall. Nope. That's a negatory. Poor soldier. Right. Okay. Farmhouse. Bit more compact. But again, have to emphasize sniping. Like, again, sniper would have such a good time with this map. But you would have to make any position you grab work for you. Especially the silo. Oh, hello. I know I spotted this before, but something I want to check. Can this gun... Yeah, that would be a dangerous game. You'd want to focus your attention on this. On this machine gun, because if a sniper can get up there, and the guy gets this machine gun, shred it. Okay, so... Beaumont Hague. I take back what I said about the France maps. Not all of them have been bad so far. This one's actually quite good. But I can picture this being hectic and a lot of broken controllers maybe from snipers who feel that this would be a good proving ground only to keep getting sniped off that for like the 20th time in a row. But yeah, that's what I'm really taking away from this map. The two main things that it would be of note if you were to play in this one. Farmhouse would be, well actually, maybe 3 things. Farmhouse would be something that you would fight over periodically, if not the houses. Silo is definitely where you want to go for a good sniping spot, and with there you basically have control of the map if you're competent. But there's also the risk that you get blown out of the fucking... off the silo by that machine gun. Don't know if there's any other ones, I didn't see them. But there could very well be more machine guns that are mounted somewhere that I didn't see. And thirdly, the houses, if you don't get onto the silo, the houses would be your best friend. I could see a lot of the battling going on in the houses. And I could maybe even see it being a bit of a sniping war. So yeah, I like that. Beaumont Hague. Okay, Anctoville, another French map. Well, let's see what we've got. Why do they always have to have a dead horse? See, again, it's when they put a map in a town like this. They always seem to extend the barrier just a bit too far. It's way too big. This is not a map I'd really be spending a lot of time on, just because, again, too big. I get that this would be something for a full lobby, and that's what a lot of people play Call of Duty for, but I couldn't stand doing a full team game on this. I mean, I'm seeing a couple of spots that would do quite well if you could make them work, but no. Like, that's just over that side. That's over to what I'll call the right. If you go left, I can only imagine this goes bigger. It'd be a game where you need to fucking like, take a day off work if you try to find something. Jesus. Right, so how are we talking about the houses? Although, from what I'm gathering, it seems to be like 1 cent a house. 1 cent a house, a big fuck off hole bombed into another, so that kind of opens that up. Could you make this one work for you? I doubt it. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. I will happily accept if I'm wrong. This would be a house I can see people fighting over because this one seems to be giving you a lot of options to cover the map. Not too sure about sniping, but let's go up to the top floor and have a look. Oh no, you ain't sniping. This would be a camping spot, but you would need to be careful because obviously on the stairs they could shoot you from about halfway up. But also one cheeky wee grenade throw up there, and you're dead. That's the issue. Right. Hang on a second, I want to check my audio. Am I scratching up? No, I'm still sounding good, okay. Right. Right. Anything else? There's this building I want to check. Yeah, single floor, that would be something that I would see people just passing through, not even trying to defend. What's the point in putting a set of stairs you can't get up? That's just a death trap waiting to go there. Dead. Yeah, there's not even that good amount of camping spots. I mean, you go here, you've got this covered, so dead. Then you look at everywhere else, and it's just... I think there's so many better options. This one just... If you're careful, I could see it being quite hectic in here. Funny how I just use the word careful and hectic in the same sense. It didn't really look in the barn. What have we got in here? Nothing much. If you could get up to the top floor, I'd be singing a different tune, but... Oh, no, wait, hang on. You can. Okay, that's just changed things, because you can... get up to the second floor. Main disadvantage is no stairs. To get up here, you have to get in. You have to get on that ladder, and that leaves you vulnerable. Vulnerable in Call of Duty means dead. As soon as you go to climb that up that. Dead. So, yeah, you had a good kind of you got the ball rolling with that last map, France, but this one... Nah, I have to kind of dock a point for that again, so I think you're back on nil. Back on nil points this episode. If it seems I'm breezing through these guys, it's kind of because I am. I kind of want to move on to the other CoD games, but I'm trying to be as subjective as I can as well. Oh, I can just see what we've got here. Deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture a flag, headquarters, and search and destroy. So standard, there's no custom shit, right? So, yeah, Anctoville, not a fan. Saint Louis. Or is it Louis? Shit. Fucking just saved a screenshot and didn't mean to. Oh. Fourth verse, same as the first. Okay, now we're talking actually. Using a church, I can see this being the centre point of many a battle. Because from what I'm seeing, screams nice wee team-based kind of bit of carnage there. But come on, just based off this, look how much is open to you. Like, let's just walk down this street. Oh my god. No fucking way, man. Right. I just want to also go and recognise and say that while this game's maps being big is an issue for me, I don't have a problem with big Call of Duty maps in general. Because I do have a couple of maps in the later games that I am fond of. For example, I'm quite fond of Terminal, which is on the bigger size. I do recall one of the Dome maps being quite big. Is it Dome? Oh, what one? I don't know what it is, but yeah, I've had it where I've liked a couple of the bigger maps in Call of Duty games, so I'm not, as soon as I see that map's big, I'm not instantly like disliked, but I do have a preference. And the fact is, COD 2 was never really one of the games in the series I liked. Oh, this could be a cheeky wee camping spot, but you would need to be a quicker draw than the person who comes in. Because either way, dead or dead. It's one of the two. I've got a funny feeling the builds are all going to be the same, so... Oh, okay, nice little loop to kind of run. What is this, Dead by Daylight? If someone's running that loop, just chuck a grenade in and there you go, problem solved. Well, if they don't stop before they reach it. That's another one? Yeah, it's another loop. Oh, did I just run back into the same house? I'm guessing that a lot of the houses here are the same, just basic lower floors with loops. But yeah, I can see that this church would be quite devastating, especially if you crouch in the corner, because you've got both sides covered. Same with this. Like, if you've got enemies coming from either direction, you could deal with them. But you would need to be quick in the draw, because they would probably see you just as you see them. Okay, I was hoping you could go prone behind the altar, but no. Yeah. Yeah, this is one I would have to say I'm kind of mixed about. Like, the church bit I can see being good for a little bit of carnage, But DC once it spills out when the fighting spills out onto the streets, look how many buildings you've got to work with. This is something that you'd want a full team for, and I'm talking a full lobby. I don't know what the max team size was in CoD 2, but this is something that you'd want a full lobby for. And would I be correct in assuming, let me just go into spectator mode. Is that a standard 3 lane? It looks to be your standard 3, no, hang on, it's 2 lane. I don't really use spectator mode that often because I prefer to just like, see what it is naturally. See it from like the level that you'd be operating at anyway. But I thought this was a standard 3 lane map, it's only 2. I mean, if you're ballsy enough, I could maybe see you getting down the side, but yeah, the main point of like defense in that would be the church. That's the important thing. Right. So I think with that one, I think we are done because I'm not looking through all these buildings. Because if I did, we'll be here for another 20 minutes and it will get extremely dull, me saying the exact same thing over and over and over. But yeah, other than the church, I'm unsure how to feel about that map. Too wide. That's my main problem with it. Am I Sul in France? Right, what you got? Okay. Not sure how I feel about the fact that you spawn right next to razor wire, but let's have a look. Right, okay, not a look like other houses. A couple of rooms for you to practice fire on. Giving me very similar vibes. I don't know why to Kalak. Maybe not a 1v1, but a small 3v3. Oh yeah, definitely a 3v3. Make it for the end of one side of the map to the other in about 10 seconds. Yeah, this would definitely be a small team one. But not sure how you would go about playing it. Right. I'll say as much. If you could control these 2 buildings, I think I said the same with Leningrad or one of the ones in Russia last episode, but if you could control the 2 buildings here, you've got domination of the entire map. They're like slap bang in the middle, and they give you a full 360 degrees. Maybe less so this one, definitely this building though. This would be the one you want to control. The only issue is coming from the north, like looking at this way, because since there's another building in the way, albeit not much of one, you'd still have a bit of a challenge. But seeing as there's no upper floor there, not as much of a challenge as you would think. Whereas with that other building, with that building, I think you have a set of stairs that take you up. Yes, you do. So that would be no other to a competent gunman. I don't see snipers being used in this one frequently. This would mostly be a machine gun one, maybe even shotgun at a stretch. But I could see most of the machine guns being used here. Hit hard, hit fast, and then disappear. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for that. Oh, fucking hell. I don't know where the tiredness just crept up on my face. Jesus. Right. Alam Hafa, or Halfa, in Egypt. Second to last map. Right. Spawn me looking directly at a wall. Okay. No, I was hoping you could break them. Right. First things first, I am seeing walls. Walls are okay. Right. I don't know why I'm intending to test fate here, guys, because it's not as if they're going to let me just walk out into the middle of a minefield. This isn't Brecourt. I don't know why that came to mind, to just me blow myself up in Brecourt. Ugh. But in terms of player count, again, maybe a small 3v3, but I could actually see this being a 1v1. Oh yeah. We've got a 1v1 map, boys. This is the kind of compact I like. Like, it's basically a standard box layout. Couple of things to duck about. Maybe the odd interior. Don't know so much about that last point, but you've got spaces to climb up. You've got multiple points of view. Yeah, I can see this being one hell of a fucking map to 1v1 on. Okay, Alam Halfa. I like it. Game, you've redeemed yourself just ever so slightly. Yeah, I could picture the body count rapidly, and I mean rapidly rising, if this was to be played on a full team lobby. A game here with a full lobby would last less than 5 minutes. It would be carnage. Only thing I want to know is, can you get on the roof of this build? Fairly certain you can, but I just want to check. No, you can't, because they knew how dangerous it was. You can't even get on the roof of this one. So what, you can't get on the roof of any of them? You can only go into a lower part? You know what? It's probably for the best. They realised how badly the kill count could go up if they left ladders onto the tops of most of the buildings. So, oh yeah, if you get up here, you've got control. Oh, that would be an absolute massacre. Okay. Alam Halfa. I like that one. And finally, going back to Russia with Rostov. Now, before we begin with this map, I will give people a chance to say what do they think about this one. Like, based off that screenshot we saw, do you think this map's going to be a banger? Or do you think it's going to be a bit of a disappointing one to end the list with? Because, I'll admit, for me, Russia has produced some of the best maps in Call of Duty 2 for me. I've liked maybe 3 of them. Actually, I think I've liked all of them. I liked Moscow, liked Leningrad, liked Stalingrad, and I liked Kalak. So do we think that this last one, Kostov, or Rostov, whatever it's called, Do we think that this one will perform as well? Let's find out. Go to stand at PPSH. Right. What are we dealing with? Well, first off, I bet that you have to jump over some boxes to get out. Fantastic. Okay, right off the bat, I am noticing a problem. Anyone else? Well, it's actually not so much of a problem this time. Yes, it's a bit big. But based on the fact that there's not actually a lot of areas you can go, it seems to be just a loop. I will come back to that ladder later. Yeah, it seems to be just a loop. Hang on. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I walked out there and I genuinely thought I was playing CoD 4 for a second. That looks a bit like an area in vacant. I don't know why. Fucking getting visions of a future Call of Duty game. Jesus. Right, I'm checking the buildings on the ground floor first. Oof. You know what? I take it back. I was going to be a wee bit generous saying that this map's not as big as I thought. It's a bit longer. A bit bigger lengthwise, but I'm not too sure how I feel about the fact that it is just essentially a big ass curve. Like, let me just change to spectator mode and show you guys that I probably can't even go up that high, but like, look at that fucking space that you've got to work with. That screams chaos. Although I'm quite curious, could you get to the boat? I don't see yourself being able to... no, you can't, because I can already tell you you can't, because you can't even get past the gate. Right, if only I could use the buttons to raise or lower myself. Right, so what do we have up here? Nah, I need to go back to the Russians just to be able to move freely. Right, set of stairs here. Where's this take me? Kill box, but you've also got a little bit of covering. Wee bit cheeky. Very cheeky, actually. Equal punishment, I'm seeing. But the problem is, they have to climb up to get to the vantage point. This building here just has to run up. It has to run up a set of stairs or get a bit of a ladder. Not to mention, this one has less vantage points than that one does, because that is a big ass hallway there. This is just one tiny wee room. When you feel like you're getting... Okay, so they've done that to balance that out. But other than that, it's just... These alleys are too narrow. This is just one big ass kill box. I mean, if you could get to the boats there, that would be interesting, but yeah, definitely not one I'd say for 1v1. But I do like the fact that if you get into these buildings, yeah, if the enemies in the other building, you're on kind of level ground. But yeah, I would not see myself playing this map frequently. If vote to skip was a thing in Call of Duty 2, I'd be voting to skip every time this came up. But that's mainly due to the size of it. As I said earlier, I don't like my Call of Duty maps to be massive. While this isn't as big as some of them, it's up there. And again, this is only the first game that we're doing with CoD Noob Reviews. I don't even know how the maps in CoD 3 look. I know a couple in CoD 4, but that's for another stream. So, unfortunately, I have to say that out of, I want to say 4 maps, no, 5 maps, Russia seemed to get good marks for about 4 of them. The last one kind of let them down, unfortunately. So, Rostov, I'm sorry, but you would not be getting played by me. Valiant effort, I can see some good in it, but not enough to say that it'd be worth me playing it. So, that's all of the multiplayer maps covered for Call of Duty 2. And at the end of it all, we do have some more notes to be taken care of. For example, the updated list of the liked maps. So from the favourites, this is just for the favourites, I would have to say I liked Leningrad, Moscow, and Stalingrad. But if I was to pick one, I would have to give it to Moscow. Mostly because I feel that's the one that plays most like a 1v1. But I will give special notice to Alam Halfa, because those two, Moscow and Alam Halfa, they are the ones that mostly fit what I would define as a 1v1 map, and that is Shipment from Modern Warfare and Rust from Modern Warfare 2. Because they seem to fit the right kind of size, and they're kind of enclosed, and yeah, there's a lot of ways you can flank your opponent, but they're small enough, it just needs to be you and your opponent. They would be perfect matches for maps for like me and my brother to play against each other. But in terms of design, I would say that the Russia maps were the best ones. Maybe not so much Rostov, I wasn't a fan of that last one. When it comes to sniping, we do have the king of all the sniping ones, Breakout. Nice big open field. Basically any angle you approach from, you're getting your head blown off with a by competent sniper. But I will give special mention to Beaumont Hague. Especially with that silo. As I said, you get the silo, you control the map, but you have to make the silo work for you. Because you've got that machine gun that will take you out, but you've also got other snipers that might want to be sniping you out of the silo so they can take the silo. So I'm going to mark that down. Beaumont Hague. Machine gun and shotgun maps. We have Burgundy. Let me just get the picture up so I can have a look. And actually, this reminds me, I think I said in the last episode that one of these maps was remade into a Call of Duty 4 map. I think I think Burgundy might be it. I'm not entirely sure. But let's say machine gun or shotgun maps can. Really? Fair enough. Not going to argue with my past self. El Alamein, yes, I can definitely say that because of the trenches. Actually, come to think of it. Oh no, never mind, I'm talking out my ass. Balanced. Right, Leningrad. Yes. I will say that right now. Yes. Because I remember that one that those two buildings that you see in that one. That one closest to the camera, the red one to its right. I remember saying if you could get control of those buildings, you've got control of like the full centre of the map. You've got a full 360-degree view. But there's also you can also do a wee bit of sniping for there, but you could also get a fair amount of machine gun and shotgun fire going, which I'd be a-okay with. So I would say that's a good note to do. But and not as much as some of the other places. Moscow, for balance, yes, because obviously you've got the two buildings at the far end for sniping. But if you feel like taking it a wee bit closer, you can take it machine gun, shotgun, that kind of thing. Beltolt. Again, since it was the first map, I could see some sniping between the houses on either side of the road, but machine gun fire in the streets below. But there was one more that we saw today, actually. And surprisingly, Germany came in with that one. And I would say Vossenac would be a good balanced one. Because you could snipe from the barn, you could snipe from the other end of the map, but if you were bold enough to try and rush the bunker in the middle, it would become a close quarters melee, possibly even bashing people to death. Or just going straight machine gun and shotguns. So that's what I would say for that. For 1v1s, again, I would actually say Vossenac could work. It's small enough. Not maybe so much places to hide, but I could see it working. King of them all, Moscow, Leningrad, another one from today, Kalak, Alam Halfa, and was there anything else? Nope. There was one that there were a couple I wasn't a fan of. I wasn't a fan of Carentan. I think this was like one of the biggest, if not the biggest. I know I said it was a good machine gun shotgun map, but I was not a fan of El Alamein. Mostly because I think if you're walking through the trenches, what's to stop? Like, obviously, your gaze will be focused directly in front of you. Someone could take you out from above. Because, yes, with war stories and that, you get people in the trenches because they're trying to avoid getting their head blown off. This isn't a war film. This would be a game with people in the trenches with you. But people would be willing to jump on top of the sand, go on top of you, and take you out from above. I could see you getting your head sniped off from one end of the map if you've got a good shot on the enemy team. Not too sure. But it'd be the fact that I'd have to watch my back and also look up while also trying to move through the trenches. I would get disorientated so badly. So yeah, for that reason, I wasn't a fan of that one. And I wasn't a fan of Burgundy. I'm also noticing that I'm not really a fan of the town maps. With a couple of exceptions. But when you set them in like the middle of a town, especially, as much as I hate to say it, the France maps, like every France map is a town, except for Bricourt and Beltolt because that's just a little bit of farmland. But Burgundy, Caen, Carentan, Saint Mary Église, Villers-Bocage, Beaumont-Hay to a lesser extent, Acteville, Saint Louis, and Amaye des Sourcils. Oh, my bad. The town maps are always a bit too wide. That's the main problem. They're too wide, they're too big. I don't want to be playing a game like hide and seek while trying to kill all my enemies. I don't know if that makes any sense. Um, so yeah, if you're going to play a multiplayer game, that's fine to do like a full team game with these bigger maps like Rostov, Myers-sur-Seulles, any of the town ones from France. But for 1v1s, you go to Russia with Moscow, Stalingrad, Leningrad, um, Alam Halfa in Egypt. That's what I would say. But yeah, I think that is where we can wrap up the second episode of CoD Noob Reviews, as well as the first game. Um, the next one up on the docket that we'll be looking at, I don't know when the next episode of CoD Noob Reviews will be up, but when we do come back, we will be covering the multiplayer maps of Call of Duty 3. And much like Call of Duty 2, I have no prior experience with these maps. I haven't clicked into any of them. I think the only like like when I say like Call of Duty 2, I think the only experience I had with a multiplayer map in Call of Duty 2 was at the end of my Glitch Hunter playthrough where I spawned into one of them. I think it may have been Stalingrad. Fairly certain it was Stalingrad. It was definitely a Russia map. Not entirely sure which one. I'm fairly positive it was Stalingrad. Because I distinctly remember that. And that was the name that stuck with me. But yeah, I would definitely say that that's where I was. But yeah, unlike COD 2, didn't do that with COD 3. I just decided to wrap up the playthrough over in Glitch Hunter and then close the game, because I will be perfectly honest with you, I was not a fan of COD 2 and COD 3. Because COD 2 was just too long. It felt like I was getting nowhere every time I'd done a stream of that. And I was just glad when it finished. In COD 3, I couldn't even tell you what happened. But I was just glad that I got them done, because I'll accept that they're the oldest that I can play. I accept that they're old. I accept that they're a little bit outdated by today's standards. But I'm still someone who's played these games from start to finish. And they weren't really impressing me. If anything, I was falling asleep playing them, especially COD 2. But yeah, well, that was the campaigns. The maps for multiplayer, on the other hand, they've put in a better showing for COD 2 at least. Actually, I think there might be as many maps in this uh, in this game for multiplayer that there are actual levels in the campaign. I'm not entirely sure. I think we should check that. Let me just see if I can do this. Mission select. Nope. Yeah, I didn't think so. But if match modifier. Oh, you can turn off the score limit. So what I said earlier about the hide and seek thing could work. And that's the problem. I do have... Like, oh, Jesus, did this come out in 2006? Jesus. Hey, at least you can say that with Call of Duty 2, the best map for 1v1s is available in base game. You don't have to get anything else. It's just a shame that you lose Alan Halfa if that doesn't work. I don't know why it's doing that though. Because I do have the DLC maps installed. There we go. Just a little issue, but yeah, that's what if it's not clear enough by now, guys, I'm a 1v1 Call of Duty player, but even then I don't do it religiously. because I am shit at Call of Duty, hence why this is called CoD Noob Reviews. But yeah, before I ramble for another 10 minutes, I'm going to wrap this up. So, cheers for joining me in this episode of CoD Noob Reviews, guys. Next time we will be starting the Call of Duty 3 maps. Don't know how many there are, don't know the quality of them. All I know is there are more maps. That's it. And yeah, I don't know, like I said, I don't know when the next episode will be, because there's other, at the time of me recording this, there's other games to record, both for my personal channels and for Glitch Hunter. So the schedule might get a little bit skew if this was just something I could do to rattle out another video at some point today, and then after that it will be up in the air. But yeah, cheers for joining me, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did and you are interested in seeing more from me, consider following me on my socials. Links to all those can be found in the description when this gets uploaded to YouTube, and the link to my YouTube channel can be found on my Twitch profile page. Also there you can find a link to the Glitch Hunter Community Discord server. There you can interact with me, with the rest of our team, be a part of our amazing community, suggest games for us to stream, and get alerted on whenever I'm going on live. Not just me, the other Glitch Hunters too, but in terms of my audience for my main channels, you can be alerted to whenever I'm going live on those personal channels. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and till next time, peace.